Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa Galloway. This is Beauty from Inside and Out. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about brushes. Brushes and the care of them, and maybe even a few surprising things of like how you can take care of them. Keep watching.
If you're here, then you woke up today. And that is a blessing. Don't take that for granted. Don't waste it.
Okay, ladies. Now, my brushes, these brushes, I have had for, wow, I think going on 4 years. I believe I bought these in 2020. Right at the end of 2020. So, God, like 4 years. So, the reason why I felt like this was an interesting topic, because I know that it's not anything new, right? We're supposed to really take care of our brushes, wash them. It was what I mean by that. And so that they can like last, right? I mean, some of these brushes they can be quite expensive, right? Depending on where you're getting your brushes. I'm a little biased. These are from Seint. Love these brushes. Again, it goes a long way with how you take care of them, so that they stand up its time. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. But brushes make a difference on how our makeup is going on, right? Like maybe what you're using, but more importantly, taking care of them. Okay, let me, before I kind of like tell you what I use to wash and to keep them clean, let's break down at least three reasons why it's important, which again shouldn't be maybe like any shocking news to you, but I think they're worth mentioning because it can create a havoc. Okay, so the first one is just because, again, like I mentioned, the fact that our makeup is not going to look right on us. It's going to look muddy. Hasn't that ever happened to you where you have put on your makeup and you're like, okay, I'm using the same products, I'm applying my makeup the same way, but it looks muddy. It looks dirty. Well, that's because your brushes are dirty. But sometimes it doesn't even occur to us that that's what it is. We don't realize the buildup that kind of like just gets onto these bristles. Whether you're using anything, powder, liquid, cream, they're gonna get dirty. And it's just kind of like pounding on top of pounding, and ew, right? When you think about it. But sometimes you just don't, because you're just gonna go ahead and put on your makeup really quick, and it's not the first thing you think of when your makeup is done and you're looking at yourself going, something's off. So that's the first thing I think that is an obvious thing. Okay, now the second one is a little bit more, not scary, but just they're dirty. So think about the bacteria, right, that just sits on them, especially if you have them in an open space. Maybe you don't even have them covered, which can be a great way to kind of keep them away from like the dust and everything else that's just in the air. But if they're exposed, they're going to get dirty, on top of the fact that you're just putting all the muckety muck on it, right? But think about that now going on to your face, right? You may not even be in a time of your life where you're getting a lot of breakouts and but then all of a sudden you're like, where did that come from? Well, it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be because your brush is dirty. I mean, it's just, never mind if your pores are like open, what have not. I mean, it's just, if you have an open cut, I mean, it can be endless and like traumatizing if then you have to go now to a dermatologist, try to figure out what it is, what kind of infection you have. I mean, it's just insane over something that can be taken care of, right? And it's just the excuses that come up as far as like not having time. Listen, I am guilty of that as well. And I try to wash them in 2 different formats, which I'll get to. But let's hit the third reason, okay? Which I think we all can benefit from. The cost. The cost of not taking care of them is gonna break this brush down. And then after you've spent whatever you've spent on it, it's money down the drain because you're gonna have to go buy another brush. Like I said, I've had my brushes for 4 years and they look brand new. I mean, bristles are not falling out. So at the end, if you're taking care of your brushes the proper way, then you don't have to spend extra money, right? It's just not money that's just going down the drain. So that's kind of my 3 kind of highlights as far as the whole purpose of really just making sure that our brushes are clean, right? Now let's kind of get into what to use. This is the fun part, guys. Like, I thought that I just had to, and if this is you, let me know in the comments, I would just wash my brushes, right? Under regular soap and water, soak them. Oh my gosh, like I used to do that so much back in the day, and then you learn and then you do better, right? And then of course you'd have to wait overnight because the brushes are wet, you can't use them, so you got to make sure that you're scheduling it right so that you're not having to wear makeup that day or that next morning, and it's a whole to-do. So we sometimes then avoid it, right? We just try to push it off as much as we can because we're trying to squeeze in that time to get them washed. But there are solutions, guys. Okay, so this is, and I'm sure that maybe you've heard this as well, but this is kind of like my rule that kind of worked for me, is that I usually take my brushes and try to wash them, deep wash them once a month, at least once a month. Sometimes it can go over by a week, but let's not let a month turn into 5 months, basically. So at least within that range, right? 4 to 6 weeks deep washing, and then a weekly wash, gentler wash, and I'll show you what I use. And then at most twice a month in this format, that you don't even have to wait for your brushes to dry overnight. I know, it's like amazing. Okay, wait until I show you what I use. Okay, so deep washing, what can you do? Now, I've got a few products that I use that I am definitely affiliated with, but you can choose whichever one you like. Now, the way I wash them before I started using these products was just a little bit of like Dawn dish soap. And then I would take a rubber, I don't know what they're actually called, but they have like those little teeth in it, right? That you would just take your brush and you would just kind of like swirl it around there to get all of the gunk out, right? To really get into the bristles. And that's how I would do them, like overnight. Then I found this one, actually I was told about it and I was like, it really worked. Okay, so this one, and you can get this one off of Amazon. It comes with this little tin and this bottle, which you can see I am almost out. I haven't even used this in a minute, but I'll probably end up purchasing it again because it really does work, you know, for a backup. It's called Cinema Secrets Pro Cosmetic Makeup Brush Cleaner. 99.9 bacteria free. So really, really good. And it's really easy to use. They give you the tin, which you go ahead and pour a little bit of this solution, and you don't even need much. I would say maybe like a third of it. And again, this bottle will last you quite a bit. Like I've had it for a few years. And then you dip your brush into the solution and take a cloth, whether it's like a paper towel or maybe a nice face towel or hand towel that has like some grip on it. and then just swirl your brushes to get them clean. Now, this will definitely have to lay out overnight because the brush does, or the bristles do get wet quite a bit. So this is like an overnight, I would say that it falls into the category of like 4 to 6 weeks to wash your brush. But it's a great cleanser for brushes. If you can go ahead and get this. Again, you can get it over on Amazon, and it worked perfect for cleansing the brushes. So then I moved on to this solution here, this cleanser. Now this one hasn't really been around a lot, I think maybe a year, and it is through Seint, but it's so cute. I mean, first of all, like, let's just take a minute to absorb, like, just to take in how pretty. I love just black, right? Like, it looks so pretty, like if you want to even leave it on your vanity, but so pretty. Like, I love things that have like that nice like aesthetic look. So it has, and it comes with this little pad that I was referring to that has like those little teeth in it, and you see that some are smaller, some are bigger. And then it has the soap. Now it does come this way, and then you can actually refill the soap. Like once you're done, you clearly have this and your little brush silicone, but you just have to just refill the soap when you're done. But same thing, overnight cleansing. You take some water, go ahead and wet your brush, and then swirl it into the soap, and take your silicone little brush, and then just swirl it in there until all of your brushes, like nothing is coming out, like no dirt, no makeup. You won't see the makeup, and you may have to go in again and do that, and then of course wring it out and lay them out. So this is a great deep cleaner for your brushes. Okay, the other thing before I get into this last one that I really is probably my favorite one, and it's not a deep cleaner, but it's like magic, guys. Okay, so but before I get into this last one, I want to just mention one more thing, and that is that there's also I don't know how. Let me just ask this question, and you can put it in the comments below, because I know I was guilty of this. So I wash my brushes, right? The bristles are all wet, and then I would just like hang it, right? Well, you can do that if you have a brush that's just like one-sided, because, and the reason I mention this is because if for an example, you have a double-ended brush, which there are now more and more out in the market, but if you do that, you allow the water that's sitting in the bristles, right, to just kind of go back into the base of your brush where the glue is, and it starts to loosen that out throughout time, which is going to cause then for the bristles to start to fall out. So lay them out, like have just a nice dry towel or towel paper, however, and just get a little space where you can just lay them out completely straight, and let them dry overnight, and they'll be nice and clean in the morning. Now, the other thing that I mentioned, which I know I was guilty of, is actually soaking them. Like, that's another reason why your brushes are going to then fall apart a lot faster, because you're just, and especially if you have a lot of brushes. Like, I mean, if you're like me, I do like to try different brushes. I have quite a few. I know a lot of artists that have, I mean, a ton of brushes, and there's a lot to go through. So it is time consuming, right, guys? But they're going to really just last its lifetime. Really, like, I mean, again, 4 years. I don't even see me having to buy any more brushes of Seint unless something new comes out. So, you know, just the whole thing on taking care of them really does say a lot. Okay, so now for this last cleanser. Oh my gosh, this is like such an amazing product, guys. When I first started using this, I was like my jaw just dropped because I'm thinking, this is it. This is the solution. Now, once again, this is not a deep cleaner, so it's not, you still do need to do like your deeper cleanser, but this is gonna help so much on so many levels. First of all, it will definitely kill the bacteria off of your bristles when you use them, on top of the fact that it's cleaning them, right? Just getting all of the makeup gunk off of it. But this is genius. It's genius. It's magical. It smells so good. It smells like bubblegum, guys. So what it is that you take this spray and you can either spray on the brush or into a towel or a towel paper, and then you just swirl the bristles until all of the makeup is off of your brush. Guys, this is, not only is it just a great way to do all the things I just mentioned, but then you can go right in and use the brush. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this particular brush cleanser, is that you do not have to wait overnight. Like it allows you to be on top of your brushes being clean more often. Because if, let's say, you start off and you even just have a handful of brushes, if that, but you're using the one or two brush for different applications, you don't want to kind of like take the one product from the other product and it not, your makeup come out the way you want it. So you want to clean your brush but not have to wait overnight. So this was genius when they invented this product to clean your brushes. And I tell you, I have this one and a backup because I don't want to run out, and I never know if they're going to ever discontinue it. So far, it's been with Seint for a few years, and I really don't think it'll go anywhere. I mean, it's probably one of the products that sold the most on the site, because you need it. You need this all the time. So amazing product. If you don't have something like this to add to your cleansing process, to your brushes, definitely do a deep cleanse, but use this weekly, or if you want to use that one or two brush over, it'll allow you to immediately clean it and then use it right away. Okay, that's it, guys. I'm probably keeping this video really short. I had a quite long one last week, so we're keeping this one short, but it's important. And I think now, especially right with the holidays and we're putting on our makeup and we're doing our parties and what have not, it's like sometimes I'm like, oh no, I don't have time to wash my brushes. Try to get this. I mean, it may get here on time. I don't know, but even though it may not, you'll still need it, and you'll be able to enjoy this this product so that you can go ahead and get your brushes cleaned. Okay, guys, let me know what if you're using any other kind of products to clean your brushes and kind of what's worked with you. Leave them in the comments. But until next week, I'll leave you here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend, and catch you later. Bye.